So you probably ask, how about now, since she's been so right? Well, as Inskip sees it, things are looking pretty darn good. But even as Rouse pointing out, moving away from just the Magnificent Seven, the whole host of smaller stocks, she says we still need tech to participate if we're going to get another leg higher. Tech doesn't have to lead the way anymore, but it has to at least follow the leaders, unlike yesterday, where the whole semiconductor complex melted down off a hideous quarter from ASML as they go to the top of the show. They make semiconductor manufacturing equipment. Never mind that ASML said they still have huge demand when it comes to chips for artificial intelligence. Money managers just sold everything, including Nvidia, even though Nvidia is the quintessential AI chip maker and there's tremendous demand for the machines that make the equipment for Taiwan Semi, which therefore makes it for Nvidia. Given that Nvidia is the most important stock in this market, as you know from the top of the show, well, we got to take a hard look at the weekly chart because Inskip, she mostly likes what she sees here. And what she sees is a bullish backdrop. Specifically, this stock's been forming what's known as a bullish consolidation pattern. You can see it. That means it's kind of like coming together, all right? When I first started this segment, I didn't understand bullish consolidation until I noticed that they always seem to be coming together like this. Bullish consolidation. By digesting its gains for the past couple of years, and once it's finished digesting, well, guess what? You tend to see a cluster going like that, and once those almost cross or get near it, that's when it starts going higher. Bullish consolidation. See, after a huge decline in July and early August, another pullback in early September, Nvidia's been working its way higher again, making a series of higher lows along the way. However, it still hasn't taken out that high from June 20th. When Inskip sees this kind of action, it makes her think Nvidia can have a huge bullish breakout as long as it closes above the June high. Basically, if this currently $135 stock can make a close above $140.76, and she sees tremendous upside here. And the pattern looking real good. Inskip points out that Nvidia's got a nice floor support just under 120, okay? So you see that. That's the 13-week moving average. If it can break out above $140.76, how high can it go? All right, we're going to use Fibonacci numbers now. That's a medieval Italian mathematician. She thinks it can go to 127. It's almost embarrassing to say, but I'll just put it right there. She thinks it goes to 177. At 177, it would be by far the world's largest company unless Apple could keep lockstep with it. I don't even have the ability to show you where it is. 177 is like somewhere up here, and when I used to be taller, it would be no problem. Don't get old. All right, anyway. However, she says NVIDIA needs a catalyst to jump that $140 hurdle. As long as it can keep going higher, inching its way higher, then what's going to happen is we're going to get the moving average divergence line, or the MACD, important momentum indicator. When the black line crosses above the yellow line, look how close we are. That's one of those reliable buy triggers in the business. It's also my favorite, just so you know, because I love MACD. I learned MACD in '88. Inskip says to look for consistently higher weekly closes because as long as the stock keeps making higher lows, that MACD crossover, well, it's going to happen. And that matters because according to Inskip, NVIDIA is the key to this market. She will not get a fight from me. Well, how about everything else that's not like NVIDIA? There's a lot of stocks, right? This is why we have the S&P 500 equal weight, where all 500 components in the index have the same weighting, as opposed to the normal market cap weighting, where the index is dominated by the Magnificent Seven. So check out the equal weight, keep that in mind, equal weight weekly chart, so one stock's just the same as the other. First, you can see this thing's been doing great because 2024 has been all about the other 493 stocks in the index. Second, Inskip sees a lot to like here. The trading cycle for the S&P 500 equal weight is bullish. She likes to watch the 13, the 26, and the 40-week moving averages because these represent 1, 2, and 3 quarters respectively. The index has a floor of support at 7,058. The 13-week moving average, that's down roughly 250 points from where it's currently trading. There's another floor at 6,888, okay, where the equal weighted peaked on March 25th. Right now, Inskip's watching for higher highs. Meanwhile, the relative strength indicator, look at this. Another important momentum, you probably think it's getting overbought, right? And you would think that's dangerous. Some technicians will tell you it's a worrisome sign. But Inskip says you don't need to fret about this relative strength index going higher when the underlying security is still making higher highs. As she says it, the S&P equal weight is not overbought. It's just right. Wow. As long as the S&P equal weight stays above its floor of 7,058, right here, then it's going to continue trading well above those key quarterly moving averages according to Inskip. So she is very positive. Again, remember, this is the equal weight. All 500 are equal weighted. The Magnificent 7 is not overweighted. But as for the regular market cap weighted, take a look at this one. For Inskip, this is a classic picture of a strong trading cycle paired with a strong trend. The S&P has a nice floor of support at 5669, where it temporarily peaked on July 16th based on a 138% Fibonacci extension from the lows 2 years ago. Inskip thinks it could be smooth sailing to 5,940, up almost 100 points. Again, very meaningful. Maybe the S&P has been bolstered by the non-magnificent 493. If we get some more tech participation, particularly, yes, from Nvidia, then Inskip's betting it'll keep roaring. But you do need Nvidia, you need Amazon, particularly you need Microsoft, and of course you need Apple. Which brings us to the tech-heavy NASDAQ 100, which contains the 100 largest non-financial stocks in the NASDAQ composite, including a great deal of technology. Even though Inskip believes that the NDX remains in a bullish trading cycle, it hasn't been making higher highs like the S&P. However, the quarterly moving averages are still sloping upwards and acting as forces of support. The NASDAQ 100 has a nice force support at the 13-week moving average, which is currently 19,481, down almost 700 points from where the index is trading. If that level gets breached, there's the 26-week moving average, provided floor at 19,277, and then a prior higher high from the March of 1844. So you see that we have support. As for the ceiling of resistance, the NASDAQ 100 made a higher high back in July, 22690, up more than 500 points from here. Inskip thinks it's heading in the right direction, but it needs to blast through that July high to have a real breakout. Once it clears that hurdle, she's betting it sends the whole market into rally mode. So once again, strap yourself in. Bottom line, the charts as interpreted by Jessica Inskip are looking pretty darn good for the S&P and the NASDAQ 100. Of course, yes, Nvidia. We got a much broader bull market than we had 6 months ago, but if it's going to keep running, Inskip says we need to see some meaningful participation from tech. And that's why she thinks Nvidia is the most important stock in the market. If it can make a higher high, she thinks that's the whole ball game. As for me, I never bet against the fabulous Jensen Hua. Mike in Illinois. Mike!
Hey, Jim, how are you?
Mike, I'm real darn good. How about you, partner?
Awesome. Great monthly meeting today. Really, very informative.
Yeah, Mike. Jeff Marks and I, and of course, Regina Gilgan. I put the camera on her, but I don't know if you're allowed to do that. Regina runs the monthly meeting in her Basque outfit, and she thought it was a really good call. And that matters because Regina can be very critical, and she said it was good too. So thank you, Mike. How can I help you?
Yep. I'm in ARM holding, and I want to know if I could buy more or sell or hold. Thank you.
Hey, ARM's good. ARM really has a tremendous relationship, by the way, with Masa, with SoftBank. And I've got to tell you, I think that the support there is going to make it so he's got a lot of runway.